Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Me and Paddy The Baddy are here in the beautiful Atherton, in the Snug. Big shout out to the Snug for having us. They're not giving us no free stuff, we're just shouting them out. But we have got coffees, we've got food on the way. First time here, Paddy?
Yeah, first time here.
What do you think?
I think it could be the first time in Atherton, to be honest.
What's your first impression?
Your mural's a belter.
Oh. But you have to step up, over this side to see it properly. Look at that! Look at this lad here. It's massive.
I heard you say then the face isn't that bad, what it is.
No, the face is alright. Why am I in fancy dress?
But the body's cartoonish, isn't it?
Why am I dressed like that? The face is alright. I don't mind the face, but...
You've known Tom for 12 years, Paddy. Have you ever seen him pout like that before?
I know, what's the pout?
I was about to say, like... I know what they say we're like modern day gladiators, but what the f*** going on with the background, lad?
No idea.
Did they tell you it was going to be Roman?
No. As soon as I seen it, I was like, I don't want that on. Get it off. And they were like, oh, he's spent 20 grand on it now. We're keeping it.
20 grand?
Oh, was it 10? Was it? I can't. It was either 10 or 20. I can't remember. But the chippy's close as well. What's going on?
The chest plate, lad. You look like Maximus out of gladiator.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I've only just noticed the pout because you said it like that.
I know. Don't get it. There's literally nothing on it that represents anything to do with UFC, MMA, Atherton, the place where I'm from. Nothing. Just Roman
just the
stuff.
Gloves.
Yeah, just don't get it.
Lad, I've never seen you do that either.
Have you got a mural? You've got a mural, haven't you?
Yeah, there's one of me and Molly.
Yeah, that's it. Yours is good though.
It's like ours is like from a proper fight picture. You know what I mean? They haven't like.
That's what you would do though, isn't it? If you were doing the mural.
They haven't changed it. They just got a fight picture. What we've had.
Looking like Gladiator. We used to fight on similar shows.
Yeah.
Oh, the same show.
The same
basically.
show. Yeah.
Then I don't know how it was.
Did you ever fight? You fought on AFC, didn't you?
Yeah, I fought on AFC.
You fought on AFC in the Olympia.
So AFC was like an amateur show.
Yeah.
Then where did I go after that?
I had 7 fights on that, amateur fights.
So how many amateur fights did you have altogether?
9.
I did.
Yeah.
I had 9. Oh, I think I might have had 10. I was 10-0, I think.
Yeah, I was 9-0.
Yeah. But at the time, I definitely would have had more amateur fights.
If it was now, yeah. Because
I would have done the IMAFs and all that.
Yeah, there was more people to fight.
That wasn't around when I was
then.
going.
I ended up like beating everyone that I could beat. And it was like
no one left.
No one left to fight, so I had to go pro.
Exactly the same.
So when you went pro,
did you go Cage Warriors straight away? No.
No, because they couldn't have me straight away because I was 17.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mine. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Looks well.
Looks alright, doesn't it?
I went pro when I was 17.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the Cage Warriors couldn't sign me, so I signed a 3-fight deal with Omar.
Oh, you signed an exclusive deal?
Yeah,
did you?
And done a 3-fight deal with Omar, went 3-0, and then went to Cage Warriors when I was 18.
So how many Cage Warriors fights did you have?
Oh, there we f***ing go.
That's naughty. This is obviously out of camp, Paddy, at the moment.
Do you dream about things like that?
No, but I could eat that if I wanted.
You can eat just
I could eat that if I could drink that if I wanted. But
first thing I've had all day is a marshmallow.
I'm trying to be good. Well, that's when.
Want to taste?
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's unreal, to be fair. And when you went to Cage Warriors, Graham started managing straight away? Oh, you had a couple of fights first?
No, yeah, I think he started managing me straight away. That's sign with intensity. Do you want some then? Do you want to go with that?
I'm alright, thanks. I'll end up getting one. Yeah,
I think I signed with intensity straight away.
Intensity, is that the name of his?
That's it. Yeah, the fight agency. You know what I mean? That's what it's called. And yeah, Graham's looked after me since I was 18.
Yeah.
Did you always know you wanted to be a UFC fighter from like Dave Dot? I know there's a video of it and stuff.
Yeah, the first fight I ever watched when I couldn't remember watching it, because I can remember watching Forrest Griffin versus Stephen Bonner and a lad down the road who lived for me when I was about 7, 8. But the first fight I can remember watching was Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida.
Oh, classic that.
Classic. Someone put it on in the youth club when we was 14. And I can remember just watching it like, wow, this is sick, I need to have a go with this, me. And then the first one I stayed up and watched live was a few days after my birthday, lad, in January 2010. Belfort knocked Rich Franklin out in the first round in like his comeback fight in the UFC, and then I started training in next gen on the 20th of January 2010 and just never looked back. As soon as I started training I was like, yeah, I want to fight. So I've done a few grappling tournaments, won a couple of tournaments, then took my first fight on a week's notice. And then as soon as I got my hand raised in that fight, lad, it was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't want to do anything else.
I was the same. When I started realising like people are doing that rather than going to work, I was like, I'm in. Oh no, I was always like attracted to it for some reason. Don't know why.
I just like fighting, lad.
Same.
As we were saying before, I just enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Even if we weren't getting paid for it, we'd probably do it.
I did it for enough time to didn't get paid.
When we basically fight twice a week when we spar in the gym. You know what I mean? That's basically a fight. It's just not as intense. And you wear a little bit more protective gear. It's just basically a fight.
You always seem yourself, Paddy, which obviously working with Tom is very similar. Where does that come from? Just always, have you always stay grounded?
I think it's just where we're from. Yeah, where we're from, lad. You can't try and be anything different, lad, when you're from where we're from, because your community will remind you, like, what are you up to, lad? That's not us, and that's just the way we are. You know what I mean? You can't. I just hate it when people try and fake a personality. That's why I hate Colby Covington. You know what I mean? I got a poached eggs as well.
Mate, I love the diet choices. This is fantastic. That looks
good, that, doesn't it?
Really good. Look at the cheese dripping over the side and everything.
Out of 10, that?
That's good.
That's up there.
Good cheese.
Cup of tea and that.
And
Can't beat that. And a milkshake. Can't beat that.
How much has MMA changed though from when you watched it and you're saying like when you want it changed a lot, hasn't it? And
Since
especially
we were
in the UK.
Since we were fighting in the Olympia, lad, MMA is catapulted to mainstream. You know what I mean? Got to thank McGregor a lot for that, like, because he helped in a big way. But it grows every year, the sport. It is funny though, isn't it, when people say you do that UFC?
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit unfair to the people who are not in the UFC, dedicating their life to it. But yeah, like you say, it's getting bigger and bigger all the time, isn't it? Even from like, I think that when it was a London card, after the pandemic, where you fought on it, Molly fought on it, I fought against Volkov. There was loads of UK guys on it as well. That's when it kicked off massive over. Like, it was big anyway, do you know what I mean? But that's when it got massive in this country, in my opinion.
You're right there, like, that was an unbelievable night of fights as well. It's about, what was like 13 fights and like 11, 12 finishes, something like that. I've actually seen someone put that card up the other day saying, is this the best card
it was unreal.
in UFC history?
That's when Ilya Taporia got dropped off.
Giant
Still knocked him out. There was loads of good, like, big names on that
Arnold
card.
Allen beat Dan Hooker.
Yeah. Loads of big names.
Good card, that.
What do you think UK MMA needs now to sort of kick on again into that like next level?
Tom to beat John Jones and me to win the lightweight belt. It's gonna explode tenfold again. You know what I mean? Just needs more fighters from the UK. I'd love to see Arnold Allen win the featherweight belt as well. You know what I mean? He's a proper nice lad, Arnold Allen. And then put more Tom trains with a lot of people now in the UFC. You know what I mean? I think Mick got robbed the other week in his last fight, a couple of months ago. My teammate Nathan got robbed in his fight in London. But we're going to have a few more lads in the UFC very soon. You know, Luke looking like he's going to be on the Contender Series. I think Shem will get signed soon. Then we've got like Gittins, Cullen, a few lads like that. So the UK MMA scene is thriving and it's just going to only get bigger and better.
How do you deal with, obviously as you've grown and got bigger, and the reality and the pressures of being an athlete just day to day, even walking down the street?
I think it's hard for me because
Do you want a piece, please?
I don't really like blending because of the size of my stuff.
You can't blend
in. Like, I've been around loads of like really popular UFC fighters. They walk down the street because they're like average size. It's easy for them just to put a hat on or whatever. But with me, it's like, it's a little bit different. But I think with me, I started fighting like in the pandemic in the UFC. And it was like a gradual build. But it's something that like I'm still adjusting to. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't really go anywhere now without getting recognised. But to be honest, most of the time it's really positive. Most of the time it is really positive, but you obviously get the... Have you had any bad situations?
I just hate it when people are rude.
Yeah. People can be really rude.
Yeah. I say to people, what's the magic word? And they ask for a photo, get them to say please. But the worst one's when people just put their arm around you.
All the time.
And pull you. It's like, lad, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So pull me now.
All the time.
Or like if I'm with the babies and I just look across the room, I can see someone taking a picture of me.
That's
the most annoying,
That's
yeah.
the worst. That's the absolute
Like, don't
worst.
take a picture of me while I'm not looking.
Yeah, that's my pet hate,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Like, ask me,
It's
and I'll get a picture
come
of
over,
you.
ask me for a picture, I'll take a picture.
How hard is that to sort of manage your temper at that point? Because you obviously then have to think about your profile and there's more implications on yourself.
I always just say to people, lad, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I say, well, are you had a nonce?
That's what I usually say. Do you usually take pictures of kids without them?
Yeah.
Without asking?
I say, what are you up to?
I hate that. That's
That
my,
is my
that's my
pet
biggest
hate.
shame. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. They say, come over, ask for a picture. I'll say, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a picture and we'll crack on.
Just don't take a picture of me, my side profile while I'm looking at my wife or my kids or something, or even with my mates.
I know Tom's saying about, it's hard to sort of blend in, but obviously for yourself, Paddy, you've done it for a few years now with the YouTube and the rest of it and built yourself up big in that way. How do you deal with people stopping you and saying, like, how are you doing and stuff like that?
Sticks.
So,
Oh, let's put that.
oh, like,
Let's put that.
even when I walk around with a hat on, lad, I have to,
Your hair as well.
generally, because of my hair,
Yeah.
my hair just gives me away wherever I go. So I have to walk around with me hood up.
What was your thought in like growing your channels and stuff like that when you first started it? Or?
I don't even know, I don't even really like concentrate on that. You know what I mean? Like,
You just wanted it documented and just thought
Yeah.
it's a good idea to do it.
like years ago, I've had people following me doing little documentaries before, and then like it's mad how me and Blaze like connected, because it was before my UFC debut. I just put on Twitter, if I started doing vlogs, would just watch them, and he messaged me and was like, I'm a cameraman, blah blah, I'll come and do it for you. I was like, well lad, once I thought I'll get back on you, and like I thought, and obviously I said Scousers don't get knocked out when Brisbane asked me. It all blew up. But I remembered I'd said to him if you wanted to do it. And then I got back on him. When he come over from Philadelphia, lad, I was like, what, you live in Philadelphia and you're going to come here and do it? And he was like, yeah. And he come over, lad, and started doing them. So he looks after all that for me, lad. I just chat on videos, you know what I mean? I don't really get involved in all that.
I think a lot of people watch my stuff. We do a fair few like collabs and that with people who aren't MMA fighters. It brings like a little bit of a different audience. So I've noticed like some like 50-year-old women coming over and be like, oh, I've watched YouTube. But it's not just MMA stuff, which is good. Good really, isn't it?
Yeah. But that helps again grow, like what we're talking about, grow the sport and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly why I want to do it. Also, you need people to want to, what's going on? You need people to want to watch you fight, don't you?
Yeah.
People care about you. And I don't have like I'm not the guy who's going to start calling people out and stuff like that. Too much anyway.
Some people come over to me and just say, you're that lad off TikTok. Swear. Some people don't even know I'm a fighter, lad. Just come over, you're that lad off TikTok. I'm like, am I? Lad, I swear. Like, as you said, like 6-year-old women and that. Like when I went to Bruce Springsteen last night, there was literally OAPs asking me for pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick though, isn't it? That's good. But it just shows though, doesn't it, how far MMA's going.
I think as well, like Tom always says about with social backing and stuff like that, you seem quite extroverted, Paddy, and like how you are when the camera's on and stuff like that. Do you not ever have time where you just want to turn the cameras off and just have time to yourself as well?
I'm the same when the camera's on, when the camera's off, lad. I can't help myself, I'm
Does
just
it
me.
not knacker you though? You're not like sometimes like thinking,
Don't know. Sometimes when you've got to like film certain things, lad, for like sponsors and brands, it can get a bit irritating, but when he's just following me with the camera, lad, it's just like me what I normally am anyway, whether there's a camera there or not. So, it doesn't really bother me.
I think that's pretty much the same as what we're like, innit? A lot of the time. It's dead easy because like Charlie's my mate. It's like, I don't even notice that he's got a camera a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's like cracking on, doing stuff. It's good. It's how it's supposed to be though, innit? You don't want to be like,
Exactly.
right, camera on, Now it's time to.
You don't want to be putting no act on.
Nah.
I hate fighters what do that, lad.
Oh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Seen it.
Proper me off, lad.
One thing I wanted to chat about that obviously you've been a massive advocate for, Paddy, is around sort of like mental health as well. Like, I know obviously there's personal experience there from it. Is that something that you're still every day trying to sort of push and obviously get out there as much as possible in kind of like a MMA world where there's a lot of toxic masculinity and stuff like that? Is that sort of key to you?
Yeah, because never mind just in MMA world, lad, men in general just don't speak. You know what I mean? Just keep everything bottled up and won't speak to no one about it. My mates still do it, know what I mean? I probably still do it now and then, but you'd have a sense of relief when you tell someone something that you feel like you shouldn't, know what I mean? It's like a weight lifted off your shoulders, and like I always just try and tell people that, know what I mean? The amount of people that have got on me and was like, oh, you saved my life saying that, you saved my son's life, and I'm like, I never. They saved their own life by then speaking to someone about it, know what I mean? I'm just like a messenger, I'm just passing something on.
Mate, it is good. All that stuff that you said and that. And did you do a documentary about it as well? You did a documentary, didn't you, about it? Something like that?
Well, we done the BBC one.
Yeah,
We done
seen that.
Yeah,
That was
BBC
good.
documentary, and obviously that a lot of that came into play in it, know what I
Yeah.
mean? We spoke about it and that.
So I think the more people speak about it, the better.
Like now I've started like the Baddy Foundation.
The Baddy Foundation?
Yeah.
Is that
done
like a mental
like-
health thing?
No, it's just like a charity it's for men's mental health and like deprived kids. I want to try and help both.
Oh, that's sick.
But some of the money I've raised, I give to the place where I went to and had a bit of therapy when I was like in a bad place. Donated money to them so that they could employ another full-time therapist for a year or
that's
2
sick.
years.
Oh, well
Know what I mean?
done. That's nice.
Something you're trying to work a bit more on, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to get some more into charity stuff myself. I want to do some more stuff for autism and that because my son's autistic.
Yeah. It's nice to just give back, innit?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's difficult with. I want to do like make a place, not like I want to get a funding thing where you can put stuff in public places that cater to autistic people because I know what it's like to be in a public place with an autistic kid.
Yeah.
It can be hard. You know what I mean? I want to get more funding for that, but it's like setting up a charity is not easy. Like I'm in the early stages of it at the minute.
Where did you get your size from though, lad? Because your half fella's like half your size.
Well, he's been saying for 32 years he's my dad, so I've got to believe him at this point. No, do you know what? A lot of my family are big, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's obviously pretty short. My mum's similar size to my dad. I've got cousins and that who are like my size and stuff. My brother's similar size to me. Don't know. Like skips a generation, doesn't it?
Strong genes.
My kids are going to be massive. They're going to be giants because my missus is big. She's 6
Yeah.
foot, so she's going to be they're big, aren't they, my kids?
No, I imagine your kids are bigger
big.
than you.
They're big.
God
Mate,
help.
they'll be well bigger than me.
It's 6-year-olds like. Oh,
God help the kids and Adam and me.
They'll be.
So
They're
now.
going to be big boys.
But no, is there anything else you want to get across? Just obviously.
No, I don't think
You
so.
don't get a chance to see each other that often, do you? Really? So busy is the reality of a life of a fighter.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Travelling as well.
Yeah, we're always
Travelling.
doing something like.
Travelling, training camps, like, you know, how many times do you get to go and do stuff? Like, mate, when I'm in a training camp, I ain't doing nothing apart from training and sleeping, mate.
Yeah.
All the time. And with my kids, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. I go to the gym in the morning, come home, like mid-afternoon. Like I go to the gym in the morning, start at 10, and then I'll have another session in the afternoon usually. Then I'll get home at like 3, 4 o'clock, and then I'm just sitting with the kids then till they go to bed.
Same.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Do you know what's fascinating though is that obviously you both your different personalities, but at the same time you've got obviously that passion for one thing. Is it interesting for you, Paddy, seeing how sort of like focused Tom is on that? Obviously you're focused on the same goal, but you like to have that balance of life as well. Whereas that's fair to say, isn't it? You're sort of all in. And
Well, what do you mean? I reckon
you're
Paddy's
very-
all in as well, though.
No, I'm not saying Paddy's not all in, but Paddy also finds that balance as well. Whereas you're like the diet's a perfect example today. I know you're obviously getting closer to a fight. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, it is interesting to see that.
But you got to find what works for you, don't
That's
you?
what I mean. That's what I was
You're
trying to
right.
get to.
How's it going? You okay?
That's what I'm trying to get to is what works for you.
Yeah, you got to find. There's different approaches, isn't there? I see people living all differently.
I'm just a fat.
But you love food, then that makes you happy.
Yeah, but
I love food.
If Paddy though lived like on a diet all the time, he'd probably perform. Am I right saying
Yeah.
that? It's mad though, isn't it? It's mad.
Like I always say, like fighting, it's like 80-90% mental.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
If you're not happy while you're doing it, you're not going to perform it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You've got to be wanting to
100%.
do it and happy to be in there. Otherwise, I just don't think it works.
No. And you know, like Tom has Andy, is for you, Paddy, is your team, that sort of group of people that you see every day, is that massive for you as well?
Like we call Paul Uncle Rimmer, you know what I mean? And then since I started training, like Adam, who's now a coach, started training like a month after me. And then Ellis, who's like head coach with Paul now, he started training a couple of months later. So me, Ellis and Adam have all been training together for like 15 years now. But them two have like stopped fighting and become coaches, which has only helped the team, you know what I mean? The team has got so much better over the last couple of years, where Ellis is now head coach and Venter coach as well as Rimmer. It's not just Rim on his own. So it's just helped all the other fighters, you know what I mean? And I always say we're more like a family in our gym. That's why I don't really like them like American super gyms, because none of them are mates. You're just a body on the mat, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's what I said to you as well. Like,
Exactly.
you know what else as well is like, because I've trained in Vegas a few times, and I'm mates with Eric Nixick, who's the head coach at Extreme.
Yeah, I went and done a little session with them, lad. They were sounding
Yeah,
there.
proper, like amazing guys and everything. The problem is though with Vegas in particular, is you got 3 gyms in really close proximity to each other. Everybody knows everybody, and like, I don't want everyone to know like what I'm training like in the gym. I want my close people to know, and that's it, nobody else. And they're like, they're all training at 3 or 4 different gyms. There's rumours going around and everything. I like just to be here and just be a secret. Like, only the close people know.
I remember watching that Cody Durden fight, and the commentators were saying, "Oh, these train in the same gym." I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'd never fight someone from my gym.
But they both, I think it was ATT, but like they were doing their sessions at different times.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like that.
What?
I don't like it.
Because
It's
you're obviously
weird.
using the same coaches. Like, how can you fight someone out of the same gym?
Well, with them super gyms, it becomes more like a business, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like they all share the mat, but then they'll like allocate like different coaches, or sometimes they'll have the same coach. It's really weird. It's not something. I guess it's great for the. It looks good. I guess it's good for the sparring and that, because you
That's
get loads
what
of
I
different
always
bodies.
say.
but-
The best thing about it would be the sparring, because you get to spar different people all the time, and like there's that many people there. But you are just a body on the mat.
Definitely.
Like you're gonna get used to someone who's fighting. You know what I mean?
Completely agree.
And because
Completely
you're not
agree.
all mates, you're probably trying to knock each other out.
But that's what I think. This is just my view. There's definitely a place for that when you're learning if you should be a fighter or not.
Yeah.
Hard sparring and that. Mate, when you're at like our level, you don't need that all the
Yeah.
time. I've had probably about 30 or 40 fights now altogether. I know that I can have a hard fight if I need to.
Yeah.
So I don't need to do it all the time in the gym. 3 or 4 times before a fight, yeah. But like, how often do you like spar and that?
I spar twice a week, me
Yeah.
like. Even when I'm fat and out of shape, lad.
Yeah, but you're not going like full on the way you're in the spars.
Oh, no, we're not. We're not trying to knock each other out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I don't think we ever try and do that in the gym, because as I say, we're more like a family, lad. And you learn more. You're trying things what you wouldn't do in a fight and shit like that.
Mate, I have knocked a couple of guys out in the gym, but like I was horrified. Did like by accident, but that's just what happens with big guys. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
I've like dropped on like a mate before or two.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
I'm
not
like, lad, you're okay, you're okay.
Same,
You know what I mean?
Same.
Did you see that video the other week of Kevin Lee getting knocked out?
Yeah.
And the kid just walked away like that.
That's what you
Doesn't
mean
even
about
go
them.
over to see if he's alright.
But that's what you mean
bounces
about
away
them
like
super gyms.
yeah.
They're all trying to
not
kill
arsed.
each other. It's crazy.
Like he just walked away like half made up, like him. It's like, lad, if I clip someone in the gym and they go down, I'm like, whoa, lad, you
Absolutely
okay?
horrified. Yeah. I've seen a lot of gym walls over the years. Absolutely not worth it. Waste of time.
It used to be well worse in the R next gen, like because obviously you've been doing MMA for that long. When we first started training, well, when I did in next gen, the pros back then all just tried to kill each other.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2010, 11, 12.
Yeah, different times, though,
Different
innit?
time, lad. Like nothing was scientific about MMA.
Yeah.
It was just a brawl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cockfighting.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Last thing for me is, if we were sat here this time next year for both of you, where would you like to be individually?
Oh well, I think I'd be undisputed champion. I think
With a defence.
Yeah, with the defence, definitely. But I think, like Paddy said before, I think them stars could just align and it works out, you know, and just that could be done like early next year. Paddy winning a title, easy.
Well,
Maybe even this year.
If Villiers wins and says he wants to fight me, the UFC will make that fight.
I think so.
Because they know it's a money fight. As Ben was saying, that's like one of them fights where they were well pressed to all that, like McGregor Aldo. I know I'd beat him. It's funny because I got laughed at for it, but I know I'd beat him.
Yeah, but that's what separates you from the other guys, isn't it?
I don't know I'd beat him, man. We've already like talked about a game plan to beat him, man. I don't know how to beat him. No one like goes for his weaknesses when he fights out. Everyone just tries to have a boxing match with him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come out and have a boxing match with him. I'm going to beat him with my all-round MMA game. And as I said, no, I'd beat him, man. And I reckon I'd proper hate him. And just shut everyone up even more like I love to do.
Right guys, we're going to leave it there. That turned into a bit of a podcast actually.
Yeah,
we did about an hour there.
Had a proper chat there, like, didn't we?
But we are giving away free signed gloves, so it's going to be signed by me and Paddy, and then you're going to do it on your channel as well?
Yeah, we might as well, mightn't we?
So leave a comment on here, on Paddy's channel. The best comment is getting the signed glove by me and Paddy. All the best. See you next time.